Hi, okay, welcome back. This is the second part of the story, a funeral. And okay, so at the duck's cottage, the door opened slowly, and Duck came out of the cottage with a yawn, extending his wings. But what a good morning! He breathed in the fresh air, and as usual, waddled towards the post. Well, but he noticed something different. Where are the birds? I wonder. He usually hears them, and they greet morning to him. But it seemed there was no one near his cottage at all. Just as he checked his post, he confirmed that there was no mail for him. He heard a sad instrumental music coming toward him. Well, that wasn't really a sad music, but um, at least to them, the people who were playing, they thought it was a sad music. Anyway, so yeah, this music came out of nowhere, and Duck wondered, what? I wonder, what is it? Soon he saw a group of pelicans strutting with sad faces. Duck approached them and asked what was going on. Ah, what a sad morning it is! The chief pelican exclaimed. Duck asked to tell him in detail, to which he answered, about an hour ago. As he spoke, he began crying. A wild bird named Jack was caught in a lamp which was set up by an angry tooth that had no intention of eating him, and was killed. Then the chief pelican, as well as the rest of the pelicans, began lamenting. Duck had no idea what I meant, but since the only part he understood was the part a bird was killed, he thought it was necessary to pay homage to the bird named Jack, whoever that was. And so he asked the pelicans to wait for him so that he could dress properly and go with them, wherever they were going. And they say, "We are going to a funeral," said one of the pelicans in great dismay. Duck followed them with making a sad face, which was a quite different thing for him to do. It's a quite difficult thing for him to do because he had almost never, even once, made a sad face in his whole life. Yeah. And as he walked with them, while practicing making a sad face, they arrived at an open field where many animals were already present. Duck could not see the drawing of the deceased at the front because of the crowd, so he stayed where there was a space, and stood still, being curious to see who had died. There he found his best friend, King Penguin, also lamenting on the line, so he walked towards him and said, "Good morning, my dear friend." Duck stood right beside him and continued, "What had happened?" To which King Penguin replied, "Ah, what had happened?" He seemed to be surprised, for he did not imagine anyone would be as ignorant as not to know what had happened. "My best friend died," he kept crying, unable to look at the speaker right beside him. The ceremony began, and the drawing of the deceased was hoisted. It was such a terrible drawing that Duck did not recognize him at all, and he asked, "Who is that?" And King Penguin says, "That is Duck, my best friend." King Penguin cried when he looked at Duck and stopped mentioning and apparently several minutes had passed. When King Penguin brushed his face, he then whispered to Duck, "Is that you? You're not dead?" Duck grimaced his face as if to say, "Why?" King Penguin wiped off his tears and began looking serious, though again it was impossible even for Duck, who was standing right next to him, to tell if King Penguin's expression had changed at all.